Picture the largest moving object most humans will ever build, a container ship longer than 4 football fields, stacked with more cargo than a medieval kingdom saw in a lifetime. Now watch it approach a crowded port, and notice something strange. In the last stretch, the captain who sailed it across an ocean is no longer the one steering. By the end, you'll never picture a ship reaching land the same way. Follow one vessel in and watch who actually brings it home. The open ocean is, strangely, the easy part. Out there, a ship has miles of water on every side and room for almost any mistake. The danger is the coast, the narrow channels, the hidden sandbanks, the currents that shift with the tide, the traffic of 100 other vessels. 99% of a voyage is the open sea. Almost all of the risk is the final few miles. So into that final stretch comes a stranger. A small boat pulls alongside the moving giant, and a single person climbs a rope ladder up the hull and onto the bridge. This is the harbor pilot, and for the next stretch of water, this local expert, not the ship's own captain, will direct the vessel in. The most valuable ship in the world is handed to someone who does not work for it. Why? Because no captain, however skilled, can know every port on earth. But a pilot knows one port completely, every shoal, every quirk of its currents, the exact depth at this hour of this tide. That knowledge cannot be written in any manual. It lives in people who work the same water for years. When the ship needs it most, it rents a local brain. Now follow the ship in. The pilot calls tiny adjustments, a few degrees of rudder, a nudge of the engines as the giant creeps through a channel with mere feet of water beneath its keel. Then the tugboats take hold, small and absurdly strong, pushing and pulling the ship sideways until, impossibly gently, tens of thousands of tons kiss the quay. A journey of 10,000 miles ends in an act of delicate parking. And here is the part that surprises people. Legally, the captain still commands the ship. The pilot only advises. But in practice, the pilot's word moves the vessel. And in many major ports, taking one aboard is not a choice, it is the law. A captain who refused could be turned away or held responsible for whatever went wrong. The person in charge and the person steering are quietly not the same. And this is not rare, it happens silently everywhere. Something close to 9/10 of everything you own crossed an ocean by sea, and nearly every large ship that carried it was brought to land by a local pilot who boarded at the coast. A profession most people have never heard of touches almost every object in your home. And it is ancient. Pilots guided ships into harbor in the age of Rome and before. The word itself is centuries old. But the modern shock came in 1989 off Alaska, when a giant oil tanker ran aground and spilled its cargo across a pristine coast, the Exxon Valdez. It had, notoriously, just dropped its harbor pilot. The disaster became a lasting argument for exactly how far that local expert should stay aboard. Now the uncomfortable question. This whole system rests on trust in a single individual, boarding ship after ship, often at night, in bad weather, on a swaying ladder over freezing water. It is one of the most dangerous routine jobs at sea. Automate the ocean crossing all you like. The moment that matters most still comes down to one human being, climbing a rope in the dark. Which reframes what a port even is. We think of trade as ships and cranes and steel boxes. But the point where the global meets the local, where a vessel that belongs to no country finally touches a specific piece of land, is not a machine at all. It is a handshake performed by a person who knows this exact water and nowhere else. So the next time you picture goods arriving from across the world, do not picture the captain bringing them proudly home. Global trade touches land through one person who boards every giant ship, because the captain at the very end is not the one allowed to. Follow any ship in, and it is a stranger's hands that dock it.